Welcome to a continuation of my series, Bands Like, and today we're tackling the mighty, epic, swords out of your sheaths summoning. That's correct. We're talking about bands like summoning. Now, I've done one of these before with Agalok, kind of like folky, atmospheric black metal, and showed you some bands that, if you liked Agalok, you may like them, and that's exactly what we're going to do with this list. So if you may like summoning, you might like some of these choices. And again, I've missed off loads. There's loads of bands like summoning, so pop down in the comments below what bands you would recommend someone who loves summoning. And let's get started with my first pick, which is probably the most obvious one, Caladan Brood. Now, it is the most obvious one, it's the first one that comes to mind, but it's kind of a double-edged sword because they only have one fucking album. So you'll be like, oh shit, this band sounds like summoning, it's epic black metal, it's you know, it takes you on a journey, yes, yes, and yes, but you only have one album of it. So it is kind of like a double-edged sword with this one, but the music, so epic. Epic is the name of the word. I might say epic a lot in this video, and this album is the definition of epic. Echoes of battle into battle. I've forgotten the fucking name of it. I've actually got it on CD. I could probably show it, but I'm lazy, so I'm not going to. There is another one similar to this, Gallo Braid, with the same style and members, actually. But I don't think that's quite as similar as summoning. It's probably more on like the kind of Strook side of things rather than summoning. But Caladan Brood, definitely epic black metal, one of the best albums you're ever going to hear. And you need to listen to it if you like summoning. Next up we have Emyn Muil, which is another very similar band to summoning. Look at those album covers, like the dragon. You know it's going to be epic. You know it's going to be fantastical. And oh boy, it is. This is very similar sounding. Very similar. Feels like you're marching off through the plains of Rohan, off to war. You know, you're going to defend your keep against the Uruk-hai. That's what it feels like with this. It has those overblown segments, the symphonic elements, the trumpets. It's got all that shit and more. It's almost as good. You know what? Sometimes I even think I'm like, shit, this might be even better. But other times I'm like, shut up. But it's great. It's an amazing band, one everyone needs to check out. Very similar flares as summoning, and that's why I'm mentioning them on this list. Next up we have Keys of Orthanc, or orthanc, or however you pronounce it. This one, again, Lord of the Rings inspired. You know, there's a lot of things with epic black metal that are kind of Lord of the Rings inspired, and that makes the best ones. This, no exception. From the album covers with, like, you know, the Nazgul's heads being chopped off and the Witch King fighting and all the cool stuff you come to expect in the album covers. The music held within, just as good, and the screams on it are pretty insane, to be honest. And again, it has those overblown segments, the kind of symphonic, just serenades, like, feels like the fucking, you're like bursting into a hall and there's a big party and everyone's blasting trumpets in your face and throwing confetti, like, feels like that. Or a triumphant march. Love this band. There's another band that's kind of like it, but with more crazy vocals. Like, this has got way more crazy vocals than Summoning or Emyn Muil, or even Caladan Brood. But I love it, and it sounds just like them, and I want to listen to it again and again and again, and it's definitely for fans of summoning. Next up, let's talk about Firienholt. Firienholt, mentioning these because Jamie loves the shit out of these, and he'd slap the shit out of me silly if I didn't mention them. Hi, Jamie. This, The Fires of Awakening, I think it was called, from last year. Oh my god, the melodies in that, are so goddamn good. Epic, atmospheric black metal to a T. When you start the album as well, with those keys, it kind of feels like you're just like strolling into Riverwood or some kind of Skyrim area, and it's beautiful, it's magical. When albums take you places, that's what you want, and this band and the album, By the Waters of Awakening, that is the name of it. Yeah, it's glorious. It's glorious, and this band does that as well, so give this one a listen to, because Jamie will stick a breadstick up your ass. Last but not least, I'm going to mention Sagoth, which is a lot different to all the rest. It's not completely the same as summoning. It is more, it is symphonic black metal rather than on the epic side, but it has so many epic passages, and the symphonic nature is so bombastic, it kind of reminds me of Summoning at parts anyway, so I'm going to mention it. Maybe a bit of a cheap pick, but I don't care. The songs slay. They have so many cool melodies within, great vocals, great kind of theatrics on it as well. It's a very theatrical band, and you can tell from the album covers, it's going to be kind of epic. Kind of, even though it's not epic black metal, it's kind of in a similar vein, but it is symphonic black metal, but I think people who love Summoning will love this band as well. So, give it a listen and love. I'm crushing my hands. Ah! So yeah, it's going to be good. So that's my list of bands kind of like Summoning that you may enjoy if you do enjoy Summoning. And take a shot every time I've said Summoning. Summon your spirits, boys. But yeah, let me know down below what's your favourite bands that sound like Summoning. Oh, that's another one. And we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.